I also want to say thanks to all coaches who do video analysis online. A lot of people like Felix, Mario O'Brien, there's Melissa Whitmer. There's so many people who do things like this, and I think it's inspired us as coaches, and then 91 Ultimate to try to follow in their footsteps and do something similar for Indian Ultimate as well. We're going to talk a little bit about technical stuff. Everybody's on mute, fantastic. Everybody's got their camera off apart from the 3 coaches, and that's awesome. We're also going to turn our cameras off once we start kind of video analysis, because we'll be screen sharing. If you want to ask questions, the chat box is for that. We will try to answer questions. If they're quick ones, one of the 3 of us will try to answer it. If it's something that we want to table, we have a slot in the middle of this for 10 minutes that we can do a break, and we'll answer questions, the best ones, in that 10 minutes. But we'll keep that 10 minutes again just capped, and then we'll go into the second half analysis. So I think the structure was shared earlier today, so you guys have an idea. If the call drops, there is this 40-minute limit that we're hoping has been lifted due to USA Thanksgiving. But if it does drop off, do just join straight back on the link again. We were not able to raise funding to pay for a Zoom account yet. We will in the future. Awesome. I'm going to just turn to Nandan and Box. I think most of you know these guys. Just to say a couple of words at the beginning of this before we go into the video analysis. So let's go with Coach Nandan first.
Thanks for having me here, 91 Ultimate and Airbenders, for putting the session together. It's really fun to do something like this. That being said, I am Nandan. I've been playing and coaching Ultimate for roughly 5 years now. I started off coaching in a small school outside Bangalore where BEO used to happen, and then I moved to Chennai. And since then I've been playing with Blitzkrieg, and I've coached with the Japan mixed masters team that went to the AOBUC last year. That's about me. That's just all about me.
Awesome.
Over to Box.
Yep.
Hello everyone. Thank you for the opportunity, Airbenders and 91 Ultimate. And I'm Udaya Kumar, also known as Box. I'm from Chennai, and I've been playing Ultimate for 7 years now, and I've been coaching Ultimate for last 5 years. I've got opportunity to work with Team India in the past, and so I play for a Chennai based club team called Airbenders. I never got opportunity to watch the game, or I never analyzed the game that I've coached. So this was exciting. Actually, I was telling Coach Jaidip and Nandan that this is the first time actually I'm watching the game that I've coached and analyzing it. So yeah, it's exciting. Thank you once again.
Yeah, thanks, Box. Thanks. As humble and shy as ever. Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious, talking about the game that we chose to analyze, the WFDF Under 24 World Championship that happened in Perth. The opening game, many of you may know the outcome of this game. I'll leave it as a surprise, perhaps. A lot of interesting things happen. We were able to see so much learning that we're looking forward to sharing with you all. Yeah, I think, and it's the Under 24 team. So that's all about why we chose it. Just as a disclaimer, we'll be mentioning a lot of names, people you already know. Some of this will be just our opinion of the way that they're playing. So it's not supposed to be any kind of like, it's not, we hope it's not taken in the wrong way if we say something that we say that we're sharing our opinion that appears to be critical in any way. In fact, I think a lot of the things we're sharing should be complementary. So looking forward to it. Right, let's crack on. I'm now going to turn off my camera and share my screen. Coaches can do the same. And so the structure that we're following is we're going to watch a highlight video. It's about 10 minutes. There shouldn't be too much talking from us during that. So we'll turn on the audio of the video for that as well. Can I just check? You guys can't hear any audio, right? From the video?
Yeah, no audio.
Okay. I need to click something. Second. Yeah, should work. Okay.
All the chances are set where they are. It's much easier to move the disc when they're in flow. So I think the Indians will be going down here looking for a nice offensive hold.
That's right.
Australia coming out on defense. Can push this pool upwind. You see how much that's affecting the pools here, but he's rolled that one in. That's good.
Okay, and India have picked up. Nice swing. The options, getting this moving early.
Yeah, just to answer your question, Craig, it was a very, very windy game. We have a section coming up that will talk about that.
That's a very open throw. Looking pretty comfortable here. We've got a deep cut going. It's looked off. Nice safe decision there. Nice under from number 18. This is Dati, and she's moved it to number 12, Ganesh.
And a pick's called. Looks long. Oh, finds Francis. Oh, great play. Finds Tran in the center. Goes across to Francois. Francois looks long. Takes the easy one. Francis again. He's coming in hot to this game. Oh, he looks long. That's picked by the wind.
Oh, beautiful D there from Sanjay. He read that so well. He was marking his player under and leaped up to collect that disc at the right moment. And now India have a great opportunity here just outside the end zone, about 10 meters out. Number 13, Sanjay, finds a very tall Manipur leaping to collect that safely with two hands. And he's done a sweet break to find Jagan, who has thrown a sweet goal, and India are on the board.
These offenses have to be exactly on point, or else they will be absolutely punished for it.
That's right. So both of these teams have been, they've been training hard since July of 2017. So I'm sure they've seen it all in their training sessions, but there's nothing quite like seeing a fresh team on the first day of a tournament.
Deep. She was a power receiver for them. De Holland is in the area. Oh,
a lot of pressure there from the Indian team. Sanjay's picked up.
De Hollander picks it up, finds Francis open under. A lot of scrambling, a lot of chaos at the moment. Australians settling in. De Hollander finding Vino. Back to De Hollander on the sideline there. Oh, grips it and rips it. Finds McDonald out the other side. That's an amazing bit. That's an athletic effort there.
We've got a couple of Indian players deep, waiting for their opportunity. And another unfortunate drop.
Bit of hesitation there. Francis looks big. He's got Dawson on the end. Oh, and that's a great grab. Australia with another quick upwind score and a punish there. That's what they're looking for.
Yeah, that's right. The tactic's really paying off. They're making the Indians touch the disc a lot, which they seem fairly comfortable with, but it is increasing the number of turnover opportunities, which is going Australia's way.
Yes, and Australia looking for another downwind defensive point here. Michael out with a laser of a pull.
Flies off from the ground. It looks like she's supporting out in a handling role. They're trying to push that through the cup, got a turnover.
Suzuki in the right place there. Della going deep as Truong shot it. Oh, and he's read that well. That is an explicitly efficient punish from the Australians.
When the disc is down, they don't hesitate, they don't set up, they get the disc moving and they find the open players, which they generally are a lot when they've been playing a zone defense. And we'll just pop over to Cole now, back on the sideline.
Australian scrambling here. Oh, that one pops into the air. Francis is there.
Oh, and Rufik makes a huge
grab.
bid to try and do that.
Finds Dawson on the inside there. Looks wide, finds De Hollander. McDonald on the outside there. Australians holding a vertical stack as they get closer. And that's a big wide shot. Francois in the area.
Oh.
That's a tremendous defensive bid from Jagan.
Another massive bid from Jagan.
That's okay. You know, like the brick mark. Like We're moving.
Thanks, Cole.
To talk about the square.
Yeah, so the score currently is
Well, it's only relevant down
5-1.
there.
Yeah.
We've got another timeout.
But they haven't really been stationary.
So, you know,
there's
been
pretty quick. But
there's been a lot of build up to this tournament. Back in play. Another big swing. Needs to flatten that.
Truong with the disc. He's got Hayes going deep. Oh, takes the stage option, finds Melo around. Oh, Della picking up the scraps. Finds Michael Lau on the inside here. Patience with the disc here. Oh, Della around for the bailout, and he's looked big again. It's got edge on that one. Oh,
what a
Strand.
catch.
What an athlete, what a grab.
That is a
Fool me
difficult
once,
catch.
Shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Dennis Tran making up for it this time, getting the job done under pressure here.
Yeah, thanks, Cole. Absolutely, they are strong in the Spirit area. I believe they also won Spirit at 2015 under 24s.
Yeah, that was the Indian team's first outing as an international team. They went to the under 24s, and since then they went to the World Junior Alternate Championships in Poland in 2017.
India picking up the disc.
De Hollander better every time. This one rolling up the guts. Keep their momentum going. They do look best in flow.
Tisha in the open lane looking to clear out. Shiva manages to find Jagan, and a sweet crossfield slicing throw. And they have found a goal. India are on the board for the second time, and they look stoked about it. Found Krishna in the end zone for his goal.
Yeah, and I think that's the kind of play they're going to be looking for. They've looked for a whole bunch of sort of longer shots and really spicy throws, and it hasn't really paid off for them so far, but, you know, it looks like they've changed a bit, looking for a quick lateral movement, and that's generated a scoring opportunity like that one, and they've really been able to put that one in.
Yeah. After the game, I wonder if...
I can't get enough.
So, we've got a very nice pull there into the wind from India.
Beautiful sit. Australia going down here. Strong gathers up the disc. Coming down in the zone, changing up their defenses. Good. Back to Truong. Back to Lipari on the sideline. Looks a bit long.
Oh!
That's a D.
That's the D we've been looking for from Shiva. He's renowned for his athleticism. He read that so nicely. Popped up. Got a great big hand to that upward. I wanted the Indian team to look a little bit more to their women. I think they're getting a bit focused on the guys cutting because they're a little bit faster, so they're just sort of trying to stick their chests out, and it has just worked for them because Rutvik got a catch in the end zone.
Is that he had towed the line before he had caught and then landed it.
Okay, Jashan, the captain, went over to get involved in the chat, and the game advisor, Linda Kudo from Canada.
That's relative to the earlier gale that was blown. As you can see, these downwind pulls soaring into the end zone here.
Yeah, and hitting the ground and traveling a little bit.
Yes. Not rolling how McDonough expected it.
Oh,
He's fielded it here. He's back in his end zone. India's come down into zone defense. Oh, and he's hammering himself out of trouble. Looking to the biggest man he could find, but that wasn't enough.
Shiva's picking up quickly. She's looking for an option here. She's found one in Shiva again. Shiva makes a big swing, and it's a swing into the end zone. Caught beautifully, safely, and the Indians have 4 points to Australia's 7.
Floats one out to Francis, out in a paddock there.
India have got their zone on.
Oh, Francis with another big hammer over the top.
Oh, and it's a big D from Shiva. Shiva has found his groove. He is looking to strike whenever there's an opportunity. Finds Krishna. Back to Shiva. He's wanting some options. They're playing with all their cutters downfield. No static dump. Oh, and a bit of a risky swing to the sideline. Just missed there.
Donald signaling for the disc. Finds Wee. Captain here, bringing the patience and control. Oh, slots it through to Vinod.
Massive block!
That is a screamer out of nowhere.
He read that like he was in the library, and leapt for that. Jugan finds Shiva. Another deep cut from Stania. She wants that goal. And we've got a gentle cross-field throw to Krishna, who read that well. Toted just in. That's big. The Indians are pumped now.
That's high, but you can get about it.
Nature. The nickname for the Australian mixed team is the Blue Bottles, and a blue bottle is not a single animal, but a colonial organism. So it's both an individual and a colony. It can't survive alone, and right now I think that they need to look to each other, make sure they're not in their own individual heads, but using each other to get back into being a solid unit and take this back if they want to have a chance at stopping this Indian comeback.
Yeah, they've really put the pressure on here. Nice, doing a bit of signalling. Finds Mayolo, goes around to Della. Finds Suzuki around, but she can't quite reel that one in. Bit of a high grab. India with an opportunity here.
Darty's hands go up to tell the Indian team to calm, keep it cool. Jashan picked up, sent a curly one to the deep spot, which was magically picked up by, I'm not sure, but I'll find out in a sec. But
Jess Mumford, just after the game had begun and Australia looked really comfortable and the Indians were struggling to get any flow on offense. And she said, no, we're not stressed down here. We know we've just got to settle the nerves. We trust our game plan, and our game plan's going to be good enough to win. We're just going to wait it out and let the players' nerves settle down, and then you'll see what we're capable of. And wouldn't you know it, exactly 1 point later, the Indian team, it's like they've just pulled out their Superman suits. They've just become a completely different team.
Patience, patience. Mark Wee, almost asleep. He's so calm. Maybe actually asleep, but that's all right. The Australians have got a chance to get a block here.
Previously, that was Krishna's big layout D. And we've got a put into the end zone.
Shot
It's
goes
fading
up,
towards
sitting.
us. We've got
And it's collected
Shiva.
shots out the end zone.
That is a goal for Jagan. India have brought it even. It's 7-all. I think we've got a game on our hands.
That is a 6-point run by the Indians. That is unbelievable. The Australians unable to capitalize on these blocks, moving the disc, but just simple execution errors. They are moving around. This is where they want to be.
Yeah.
They are now in control of this game. The scorelines are even, but Australia hasn't scored since it was 7-1. It has been all India all the time since then.
That is right. I'm interested that we haven't seen much of the disc going through the Indian women at the moment. I would love that to change and for the Indians still to maintain their run.
And then we'll have a break after this, 7 minutes. And then we're back into the second half of the game. We'll see if you take over
Sanjay
here.
with the pull.
And that is a pie. It is sitting. Can't see any fishing wire, but you could fool me.
Sanjay picks up, looks deep immediately, and the disc is dropped, but it was picked up by Shiva.
Australian defense is scrambling here.
Shusmita pivoting, looking for an option, finds an option, and scores a goal. Look at that.
That's 8-7. The Indian
India's
team
taken the lead.
99 Shiva. He can do anything. He can do everything. He's an incredible defensive threat. I am blown away.
I'm just looking at a replay of this point, and Shushmita's got the frisbee. She gets a little signal from one of her teammates. She decides to make that throw, but it was actually Shiva who decided to catch it. he intercepted there, was like, this is my frisbee. I'm taking this.
Hey, awesome. That was a highlight video of the first half. So for some of us, it may have been a bit glitchy. Coaches, if you can unmute yourselves, just, yep. And so we'll just try and summarize what happened. It's a really exciting first half, as you saw, Team India versus the Blue Bottles, and we're down 1-7 at one point. And that comeback that happens to take the half 8-7. So yeah, a lot of great, exciting plays to make that happen. And we have Coach Box to kind of talk a little bit about the kind of things he was saying and what he coached the team to do, which helped contribute. Things about timeouts as well, how that was effectively used. Nandan and Box, anything else about summarizing the first half for us?
No, Coach. Good.
Yeah, I mean, I think the first half was actually a very distinct in its own sense, in that it was a game of its own, and kind of the elements of the first half are quite quite different from the what we'll see probably in the second half. Uh, Say like there was a comeback, and the mental makeup around how the comeback was mounted is what we'll probably be talking now. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Great. So we're going to go to Coach Box. We've split this into things about teams, what the teams are doing, things about players, and then some more in-depth coaching analysis. So, Coach Box, can you talk about your first point? So I think it's vertical stack. I'm at timestamp 727. Yeah. I'll also share screen.
727, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to turn off the audio from the video for this. I think you guys can all see this, hopefully. Yep. So Box, you let me know if you want to unpause, pause, and...
Yep. Yeah, sure. So yeah, actually we can see that it was a deep pool, and Team India is okay to start it from the front line of the end zone. So, very calm. Good. Yeah, yes, coach. That's good. Okay, freeze, coach. So here we can see that there is no dump option for Team India. So technically they're playing some sort of word stack with no dump. And we can see first in stack is initiating the cut and looking to go for the open side, the up the line cut here. And meanwhile, we can also see second in stack because Bhavya is ready to initiate her cut at this moment. Actually, there was very good timing here and good play by Team India. So we can see there was two options. Here, Bhavya was very smart and very quick with the cut for the around, whereas because we can see the first cut, which went for up the line, was covered. So we can see the pattern of dump reset pattern for Team India that they don't want to have dump and two option for the handler, either up the line or the next option is around. Yeah, and I have noticed that there was an execution error, but yeah, 90% they have implemented the plan very well here.
Awesome. All right.
That was a good from the handlers. We can see the dump pattern. Yeah.
Can you guys help me with the next timestamp now?
Sure. It was 9 minutes 30 seconds. So technically that is Team India's next offensive point. So because Australia scored this point, they got a break.
There's a bit of lag, so just I'm pausing.
Okay. Here we can see technically around. I think it's Jagan. So no, I mean technically the cutter is having frisbee at this moment, and we can see the pattern again here. There's no dump for Team India, so they're playing some sort of word stack with no dump. And yes, let's play. And we can see Ganesh Murthy is going for the around option, and there was covered. And second in stack is immediately going for the up the line option, means the front. So again, they're repeating the same pattern here. We can clearly see the reset and the play plant here.
Yeah, I think it looks like Datri.
Yeah, I think that's that. It's good that the first and second in stack were very active, and it was good.
Yeah, executed really well. Nandan, did I hear you say something? Or
no?
Yeah.
I just played that through Box and then paused.
Yeah, yes, let's play. And again, I think with Datri, again we can see the pattern here. There is two options here. One Bhavya is going for the round and Ganesh Murthy is going for up the line. I think the timing was again perfect.
So in that moment, I think we see this a lot, right? I mean, we hear this a lot in our local practices here, the small club practices that we do, that we often find a very different opinion here in that we find that, okay, give only one cut at a time. But I think it's, when you have players at a very high level, playing at a very high level, it's kind of important to start looking at what each of their abilities are. And, sometimes you don't need a dump, and sometimes you kind of need two cuts at the same time to get an offense moving. So I think that was a great pattern that we see there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and we can also see the timing difference. And then I think there was a very good time for first and second in stack to initiate their cuts, which means if you clearly see, means there was a means a 0.5-second difference in both cuts, where they're giving enough option for the handler to see both options here. Every time, so even the previous point, we can see the athlete is looking for the first option and going, and the timing was perfect. And one advantage I see here, or the way, because I mean, even with the club team that I played, I always hear one cut at a time. But here I've seen, see, Ganesh Murthy and Bhavya, so options. If Ganesh Murthy's cut is covered, Ganesh Murthy is going to clear, and we can see someone is going to fill in that spot. And same, Bhavya is going to clear, someone is going to fill in the same spot. So it's about two cutters attacking two different spaces, and not technically at the same time, but at the right time. I think that was very good. I think that's what we can learn from this pattern here. And these players executed very well here. We saw 2 times continuously here. The previous point from Jagan to Datri, and now from Datri to Ganesh.
Yeah. I think the timing is so key, and it comes with like so much experience. And absolutely, like what Coach Nandan saying, that sometimes we talk about don't do 2 cuts at the same time. What we really mean is not to the same space. At Ashoka, I talked often about the open under and then the break side under, and these are 2 different spaces. We called it 1 followed by 2, but it could be 1A, 1B, because it's simultaneous, actually giving 2 options, and doing it with the good timing as well. Great. All right, I'm going to play this through.
Yeah, yes.
So kind of same again.
And again we can see 2 options here for Ganesh. There was option in the open side and the dump around.
Yeah, and it's a pick call, unfortunately. But okay, let me know if to play this on or the next timestamp.
Yeah, let's play this.
Call back discussion.
I think it was stalled out.
Stall out. Accepted. Yeah.
So next one is 11 minutes 6 seconds. Again, it's team-based offense there. The same point. So again, no dump here. Bhavya is doing good job of holding a position, looking for the flow here. Again, 2 options here. That is clearing, going for around. Jagan is going for around here. Bhavya did a good job of seeing that cut, and so we can go back and see this here, coach. Actually, I really like how the front end stack or the handlers are adjusting to the place here. So Ganesh Murthy option for Datri is covered here. So Bhavya is going for around, and she noticed that Jagan is going for around. So she's immediately adjusting for the next cut, which was very good from the player who's holding the stack handler. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
And from here, we can see Selvi. Coach, can you mark Selvi here?
Can you see my arrow?
Yeah. It was perfect timing, and the way that she's setting up her cut. She was reading the play very well, and she was initiating, and she was in the right time to give cut, and she got the buffer there. Yeah. You can see the cutting pattern that Selvi is maintaining. If you see, there was no sharp turns, but some sort of U cut and trying to get Frisbee in the power position. And we can see the same pattern from next players as well here. Play. We can see the next cut is also on the same pattern, and next cut, third cut is also on the same pattern, trying to get on the open side, the forehand side here.
I think through all of these cuts, the timing of the cuts are all what kind of rewards the players with the disc. No, every time a person gets the disc, and the cut is timed to perfection. All of these here.
Yeah, and we can see the pattern which we not usually see here in our club ultimate here. Again, we can see Jagan is initiating cut again, same way.
It's a big call. I'm just going forward.
Very quickly to Coach Box, was there any reason? Did wind play a factor maybe in saying you did not want the dump, another dump handler?
Good question. So no, actually, we intentionally removed dump for Team India for this team because when we were training this team, we have noticed that our handlers, our primary handlers were not the fastest player in our team. And we know that the matchups that they're going to have at tournaments means we can see the height difference here, even in this game for team Australia and India. So we know that the marks and dump defender is going to be big, and we know that we are not fast enough there. So what we decided, we decided to remove the space, or we decided to remove the dump so that the space will be open, so we can attack it anytime, and that's the pattern we practiced. And so intentionally, because in India we played a couple of games here, and we realized that handlers were taking a lot of time to get open if we are starting from a dump position. So yeah, that's the idea. We intentionally removed the dump.
Were there any specific throws you practiced for sort of running the system of no dump?
Here we can see the two options. One is forehand side, the open side here. It's forehand first, but yeah, the open side. But we did a lot of around passes there. So we had a lot of around half pivot throws in our throwing sets, so that we can go for the around option. So quick around option. So because we wanted to just throw into space, we're not looking to throw to a player there. So yeah, we practiced some sort of around throws there. Yeah.
I just wanted to check in with Bhavya that you were like in the meeting room, the waiting room maybe, but now everything is okay, I hope. If it's cool.
Yeah, it seems to be okay now.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks guys. Thanks coaches. I'm going to play this on.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, we can see the same cutting pattern from the stack.
Yeah, this we're talking about the U.
We can see first in stack is initiating the sweep cut here.
Yeah.
And we can see the angle of the cut.
Yeah.
They're trying to get frisbee in power position so that they can go for the immediate downfield option. Yeah, nice, good cut. Timing.
Yeah, great. Is there another timestamp for this, for vertical stack?
Yeah, it's good. So it's 14 minutes 11 seconds. I guess it's same point. There was an execution error.
A long point.
And yeah, from here, what I've noticed is, let's play here, coach. You can see that here almost the stack is becoming very static here. So they're isolating one or two cutters at a time. You can see they're isolating Jagan and Selvi here. And now in this frame, we can see that everybody wants to get into the stack and they're looking for the primary cutters to get open. And that gives that option for the thrower just to throw into space. We know that Sanjay had a very good forehand high release there, and I think Stack did a very good job of creating that space. So Sanjay has a whole lot of space on his open side, on his break side, and decided to go with his forehand high release on the break side. And cutters did a good job of holding the stack and isolating the primary cutters. So yeah, that was a good end zone play from Team India there.
Who's this? Who scores? It's Bhavya. Great score, great assist.
I think the thing about Sanjay's high release is also, I mean, a lot of us could have looked at that and said, hey, that looks like a very risky option, right? But in retrospect, if you think about it, the wind is kind of going from the far side towards the near side, from the left to right. So when the wind is going with you, you can look for those higher release passes, and they're going to sort of get carried in the wind rather than when you're going upwind, where a high release might get pushed down. So if it seemed like it's a risky pass, Sanjay kind of knew everything that he was doing in that moment, and it was actually a very good option.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we talk about this later on, but like how Sanjay, with these throws in particular, the forehand and the blade and the high releases, really had a huge impact at this level in this game as well.
Definitely, it did. I think every team kind of has that one player in the role playing a kind of a disruptor. They don't really, they're usually very, very skilled. They might not always play as a part of the system, but they come in, and if there's a specific zone that you want to throw them against, you'll find those handlers coming in and sort of surgically disrupting the game.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Anything else? Any other timestamps for vertical stack?
Yeah, I think this is the time that I have for word stack.
Okay,
These are
awesome.
things I've noticed. Yeah.
Good. We'd slotted. I think we've used up the time perfectly for that. So, and there's more points coming up about like the energy. I think this was the first point that Team India scored, how it changed a little bit. But of course, we know what the upcoming score is as well. But for zone defense now, moving on to zone defense, we do have some instances here from the first half, which we're going to just talk about quickly. They were in the highlight video as well. Nandan, can you help me with the timestamp or box?
So it's.
I'll just try and find an instance.
Yeah, 16 minutes, 42 seconds.
16:42. Thanks. Oops.
Yeah. So yeah, here we can see that I think I can't see the score here.
This is a replay. Sorry, I think it's a replay. Oh, it's just that. Oh, this is when there was a technical glitch. So
yeah,
that's
after this. So yeah, I think so. Right now, Team India is playing against a four-player zone, and what we can see is how Team India players are looking again still to throw into space, or so the way that they're utilizing the field. So if you see, they're not rushing it, they're not going for quick passes, they're not you can see, other than one or two players, not everybody is moving much or trying to pop into the zone. But whenever there is an opportunity, they're trying to hit the player, even in this wind, in the downwind. So we can see there is a forehand blade from Sanjay, the no look throw, and to the player in the end zone. There was an execution error, but we can see the pattern here with Team India, where they're not rushing too much against the zone here.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I mentioned, whenever there's an opportunity, so see here, as soon as number 7 Jagan received frisbee, he knew where the next option is. So technically, everybody is waiting for their option, the right moment. So we can see Selvi is waiting for the option here. We in the past, we didn't see, in the previous point, we didn't see Selvi is popping in or dashing. She was waiting for the option. I think that was a great move from Team India here. And
yeah. Cool. Is there another timestamp?
Yeah. I think 18 minutes, 7 seconds. I think after this turnover. Yeah. Again, it's same. Sanjay sending the disc. You can see the forehand blade over the zone again here, the pattern of just hitting the players and not popping in too much. Again, from Sanjay to Jagan, Jagan to Selvi in the middle. And here in this frame, let's go back a little bit, coach.
Further, sorry.
Yeah. From here, freeze, coach. Here we can see that Jagan didn't think too much, because he knew that his teammate is going to be there in the middle.
Yeah.
And the pass was immediately on. So I think what we can see is the players on the field, or the team that playing offense, very good with their the teammates positioning on the field, and they have the map in their head actually. So looking for the catching, and we can see the same thing with Selvi. Selvi is catching and immediately looking for I think that's Dati or somebody is there.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was immediately looking for it. The throw was not on, so she's going back. So I think, yeah, we can see a very good zone offense from Team India here. again back to the handlers and waiting for their opportunity.
Just an unfortunate fumble, yeah. One of the things I had here was that if we look, sorry, I know it's glitching for you guys, but I'll try to pause and hold. Selvi has the disc, and it's coming back here, and we can see that Datri is here, and giving an option is almost coming to the center of the field. It comes back to her later on, but because the wind is a little bit in this direction towards us, towards the camera, perhaps it was hard to hit Datri in this case. But getting the disc onto this side of the field would have been advantageous as well at some point. So this is something for us to kind of think about in when we're playing as well. Shall we go to the next one? Next timestamp?
Yeah. It's 21 minutes, 52 seconds. Yeah, again, Team India playing zone. This time they're going upwind. And again, even now, we can see one or two players is playing inside the zone and others were waiting for their opportunity. And I think this is the options they're always looking for. Wait for the right time and throw to the open player so that there will be enough option as soon as we can see the forehand inside out break here from the thrower.
Yeah, to Mina, I think. Yeah. Just a reminder, guys, in 10 minutes, we'll have to rejoin.
Yeah, sure.
I think the forehand IO throw might be one of the most underrated throws. I know a lot of us try and get some of those in, but I really think we may have not practiced the forehand IO enough because it's actually a very versatile throw. You can use it to hug. It's one of the parts of, you want to get into an IO formation to get the disc going longer. At the same time, it's also a great option for breaks. In fact, if you have a throw like that, you're going to be able to sort of facilitate breaking the zone.
Yeah.
And I think where it went wrong here for Team India is means even though there was turnover after this pass, but we can see there was throw from Ganesh to Meena, and then there's no option for Meena, the downfield option, because when we can see four players were going inside the zone there.
Yeah.
So there was no option for Meena. See, again, Meena is looking for the option. She's like, where is my teammate? Should be in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's where Team India got stuck again at the one side, and that's where that forced the thrower to go for another option, and that's where the execution error happens here, I guess.
Yeah. Excellent. And it's a score. Pick it up and score. Go ahead, Box.
No, I mean, I said we can also see that Team Australia they want to just score immediately after the turn one, because they know that there's it was heavy wind there and they don't want to have hold position for too much, and quick start immediately. I think I've noticed in first half they'll be scoring this immediately right after the turnovers. It was good. It was a good ultimate from Australia.
Yeah, Australia kind of had that going for them. I think most part of the game, they did make some changes in the second half, but in the first half, they were primarily trying to attack the turnovers and be really aggressive on the turns and quick start and going there.
We have a request to have our videos on, so go ahead, guys. People want to see our lovely faces. Fantastic. We are running a little bit over time, but yeah, anything else about zone defense? Any other timestamps?
I mean, I don't have any timestamp for defense.
Zone defense.
But
yeah, we can go into pulls, talking about the pulls and getting into more of like the individual player narrative now. If you have the timestamps, or we can just talk about it.
Yeah, I think if we could, right before we go into the poll, just go to, okay, we just talk about throwing the IO for a second. I think there's a very good option taken at 35 minutes, 48 seconds, Jaideep, if you can.
35, 48.
Yeah, that will let it play a couple of seconds before we are in that moment. So here, essentially, we get the disc at the near sideline, and we were trying to now find space from the near sideline. There's a call on field, and they move the disc up. There's one more pass that is made now, and if you could pass right after the catch is made. Yeah, so right here. So Rama's got the disc, and Rama's already got a few steps on his person, and he's moving up. Jagan's got the disc on the sideline. In fact, he's probably on the sideline. Like I said earlier, the forehand IO is a very, very useful throw. One of the primary reasons is that in most cases, it's very easy to get into the grip of the forehand, right? And you'll see Jagan's already ready with the grip as soon as he caught.
Yeah.
And the forehand also doesn't take too much of a wind up to generate power. You can generate it from your elbow and flicking it. And Jagan's already held the grip. He's already looking downfield with the intention to use the IO throw. And if you can see, there's a nice little lane in between Jagan and I think that's Tanya, or is that? Yeah. So if you can pause it right before he makes a throw.
Sorry. Yeah. This looks like Stania, yeah.
So,
ponytail.
Yeah, so there's a nice little lane there, and Jagan's eyes are in the lane. Now, at this moment, he's now thinking about how to make that throw, and he's hoping that is open. And right before he makes the throw, of course, he looks at the mark. The mark hasn't really caught up to him, so the throw is really open. And you'll see him, although he knows that the mark is giving him some space. Now he's going to step out right outside the sideline. He's going to step out well outside, so he can get a clearer view into the space, and he's going to make that through.
Yeah.
So yeah, so he's now stepped outside the sideline, and now he's well over the mark's reach on the left-hand side, and he's now thrown it into space. And I think Krishna is already started his way, and he's onto the disc, and this should be a easy grab. And also at the end, right there, Krishna does the fundamentally sound thing of having to attack the disc at the end, knowing that his person, although it's the break side and the person is catching up, he doesn't wait for the disc. He attacks it. In fact, from inside the end zone, he jumps out to attack and catch it. So that was a great example of how useful a forehand IO can sort of be in any situation.
Yeah, yeah, great. Thanks, Nandan.
Yeah, and one more thing, which again means we can see, I think it's 7-1. I think this is second point that Team India is scoring, and with a similar fashion of throwing into space. And Nandan mostly talked about Jagan's throw. I think that the pattern that Krishna showed here, the cutting pattern where he knew there was an option on the break side, and immediately taking off to the break side was very good. I think Jagan and Krishna worked together. The communication was very well here. Yeah, they did a good job.
Awesome. Great. Quick reminder to people, it's going to cut off soon. So in 2 minutes. So just rejoin again. And a reminder that if you have questions, put them in the chat box. One of us will answer it if it's quick, or we'll save it for the Q&A, which will be in the middle of this somewhere for about 10 minutes. Yeah. Okay. Is it polls next, guys? Talking about how polls made a difference in this game, or the kind of polls that we want to analyze.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we can look at the pull from this point, earlier in this point. It was a good pull upwind by Australia, actually.
what do you guys think? I mean, in a windy game, I think pulls are probably one of the most important aspects. We quite often when you go into the game, when I go into the game, I'm not thinking about the pulls as much as I should be. Especially when it's windy, you want the pulls to sort of make an impact from the start of the point. And now they're going sort of upwind, and this is already it's a very, very windy day. And I think the pull comes in and lands very close to the end zone line, and I think a lot of good technique went into that throw.
Yep, absolutely, yeah. And it was a edge down pull as well. So the banking on, it's an intentional kind of rolling pull, hoping that they can get some extra distance after it hits the ground as well. I think, Box, you had a point here about stopping the pull.
Yeah. So I think we can, I think most of us watched this game already, and it's 7-1, and we just now noticed that India scored this point. We can see full reception here where I think that's Shivaraman, number 99, is trying to stop the roll, and we can see there's two players backing him up, Kishore and Jagan behind. And they scored this point. So there was the approach here in this point versus I think you can see the first pull, 7 minutes 14 seconds. So since we are talking about full reception here, I think Nandan spoke about important pull in windy condition, and means again it's very important to have a good pull reception in the offensive point. Here we can see 3 players. So we can see Shivaraman trying to stop the roll, and we can see Kishore is backing up, and we can see even Jagan is playing behind Kishore to stop the roll, and they were ready. They were reading it here, and we can see how Team India approached their first point at I think in 7 minutes 14 seconds. Coach, you can see how Team India is receiving pull here.
Yeah.
Again, especially in downwind, it was a very good blade backhand pull.
I'll just point out the disc. It's here somewhere.
Yeah. And we can see there was handler trying to stop, and there's no backup here in this windy condition.
Yeah.
And roller and then back.
Exactly. Yeah. So which allows the team blue bottles to set up, and yeah.
We can clearly see the difference here. Here, Team India is struggling to score this offensive point. Even though there was a turnover, I think there was a quick movement when there was 7-1. So I think they showed a good pull reception. And throughout the game, if you see, we can also see initially Team India was struggling with to stop the rolls or have a good pull reception. But later in the game, they showed improvement in stopping the rolls and pulls. So yeah, I think that changed the game later.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
In fact, there is another instance in this half where the pull was pretty crucial. At 41-24, India was down 3-7, and they just scored the point after going up. After going 2-7, they scored one more, held, broke, and scored to 3-7. And the pull here was. Can you skip back to Rama's pull there? Yeah. So sorry, you just wait. Yeah. So the pull, he winds up. He goes for the nice OI pull. And the pull OI was definitely the option that you needed to take there, because the wind is kind of helping you if you take the OI, and the wind kind of carries it to the end zone. So I think if you can pause it here, I think as far as we go and the sort of sequences we practice, we might. Some teams I've seen practice the pull, but nobody really practices the chasing down of the pull, which is what becomes very, very important here. You'll see India comes into a zone, and if you can continue playing, you'll see all the cup rushing to the pull and making sure they make the most out of that good pull, and they've surrounded the disc. And if you can pause right here, now you can see Australia is kind of displaced. They're thrown out of their momentum here, because there are 4 Australians on the left here, far away from the disc. They're throwing upwind now. which is going to be very difficult. Now, this is going to get the handler flustered. The handler is going to be under a lot of pressure here, just because it's not even a tight mark or anything on, but even being in the situation in the end zone with the other team in momentum, and you can't really see any of your teammates. This is great defense. If you can go on and play this, you'll see it actually generates a turnover.
Yeah, with the hammer choice to throw a hammer here.
It's a hammer into the wind, and that's a turn. And all that happened just because the Cup decided to attack the pull and run it down and really hold them in the end zone.
I think this was the first person down.
Yeah.
Saw running. Sorry to highlight you there, Pranav, but it's true. Good running. Oops. Go back. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Nandan. Yes. Anything else about polls, guys?
I think that's about it. I just hope we're out there. Maybe next time when somebody's planning a session, say 15 minutes of pulling.
Pull practice. Yeah.
Practice just pulling, and then maybe another 15 minutes of running down and sort of following through with that pull.
Yeah.
I think those two sequences are really not paid enough attention to, and something that can really make a big difference. In fact, it can really give you an edge.
Yeah. Wanting the D, getting the defense. Scudding is something I think Suhani taught me. Excellent. Okay. Break throws we've got next, and this is one of 3 things still on player specific stuff. We're going to try and go a bit faster. There's something in the chat box.
I think there was a question from Madhu. She said maybe a follow-up break side session on those 2 aspects.
Absolutely. We're happy to talk if you guys are happy to listen. But yeah, and we'll take some thanks, Madhu. Yeah. And other suggestions for break side sessions as well. Thanks. This is a long question from Richard. Mental game, we did have, it's coming at the end of this, Richard. We'll talk about mental game. Cool. You guys can chat as well. Jason, Bhavya, Sorbi, and Richa. Cool. Break throws. Do you guys want to talk about it? Or do you have a timestamp?
Yeah, I think Nandan has.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I think we've covered breakthroughs with the IO.
Yeah. Absolutely. Cool. Give goes. We also, touched upon that. I think Box talked about it with Jagan, Bhavya, Selvi, and somebody else. I think Manipa or doing give goes. Sanjay. Yeah. But anything else on that, coaches?
That's about it. Yeah.
No, I'm good. I think I covered.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay, and then
the thing about give goes was also just that it's not something that we really sort of set and practice again. It's something we usually say, okay, there's a stack, first cut, and then this person to that person, and that person to that person is what we discuss. And most often we find that that's what ends up happening. But give goes and sort of making the game faster for a second and then slowing it down is also probably something that we should consider and practice more, deliberately.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, thanks. We had something about poaching, particularly by Rama. It happens in both halves, in fact. Do you guys want to share anything about that?
Yeah, I think we should look at the one from second half.
Okay.
Just the one from the first. I'm just trying to find it.
In the first half, when they are coming back from 7-1.
Say again, Box?
No. I think, Team India was playing zone and Rama was playing deep in the first half. When India was scoring from 7-1.
Okay.
I think we should definitely watch the point after, means when it's 7-2.
I think there was a layout poach on at 46:55.
Okay.
Deep.
Yeah, it's in the highlight as well. All right, let me go back. Yep. Let's show it again.
Maybe, I think 46:40.
Did you guys see that? Yeah. I think, is that the replay? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think Rama was playing deep here and Team India was playing zone,
Yep.
the 4-player zone. Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. You see, means technically after 7-2, when India started playing defense in this game, so India was playing zone here. It was 4 players in the front. I think Australia and Team India played similar type of zone. I think there was a different in the approach here. We saw Team Australia playing in the front in the beginning, actually, that they were playing a little conservative. Everyone was forcing Team India to take those risky shots or go for the open options. Whereas we can see where Team India was having the deep come in and be aggressive. Even in 7-2, and I think that's how Rama is generating block here. You can see how close Rama was playing initially the zone, and even in the point, I think, coach, we can watch 7-2 after that, after the score.
Yeah. After the 7-2 score.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Team India, I think this is offense, but before that, yeah.
Yeah, at 37-28.
Thanks. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Nandan.
Okay.
Yeah, this point is worth watching again. As we can see, Team India is playing zone, and they were very aggressive in the front. I really like seeing this. Actually, we talked about the height difference in this game. Team India plays with Australia plays. We can see 3 girls and Pranav in the front, and the girls are being very aggressive. They're trying to be big and trying to be unpredictable because they know, the release point could be anywhere. So they're trying to be aggressive, and I really like it. And we can see 2 wings back. I don't know who those over there, but I think they're very conservative and reading the play. And in the same play, we can see Rama playing. So freeze in this frame, we can see all 7 players here. So technically, Rama was playing deep, coming in and playing very close. And I think that's the strategy that we used at the time. Was our deep was very fast. We know, everybody knows that number 19 is very fast. So we wanted to use it because even though Team Australia is going in downwind, and it's not going to be very easy for them to take those shots. And yeah, that's a chance we can use, because if you see the scoreboard, Team India is in a place to generate block. So we need to create those opportunities here. So we don't want to play any conservative defense here. So this will force Australia to go for the shot. And if they are going with the 100% option, that's great. We are okay with that. But we are sure that they're not going to hit 10 out of 10 times. And if they're doing it, maybe come up with a different plan. But I think wind played, wind was a huge factor.
Yeah.
So that allowed our defender deep to come in and play.
Yeah. And this is the D that's generated. Yeah, he's definitely playing more in, because technically this is the last player over here. But they're forcing them to take these shots.
Even after this point, whenever people are watching, you can watch this. The point we can see Team India is maintaining the same pattern here of waiting for these opportunities and going and attacking them.
Yeah, I think if you go back, you can see a little bit of what he did there. His positioning in that moment, right before he poaches the D, it's pretty. I mean, something that I think we can all learn from, in that he's constantly. I think at this point, Rama has taken a second. He's already looked at the person who's much deeper, And now he's making a look at he's taking a look at where the disc is. And at the same time, he's also seeing where the closer defender is. And now he's made all the calculations that he kind of needs. He knows where the sideline is. He knows how long the disc is going to go. The disc is going to take to sort of get thrown from the handler to this person. And now I think he waits for half a second, and then once he sees the other thrower sort of wind up into the action, I think he's off. He's off, and he's poached it.
Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, Nandan, you had a suggestion about because we are over 1 hour, 1 hour 15, in fact, which would be to take the 5-minute Q&A now, 10-minute Q&A. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Was that your suggestion?
Yeah, I think there are a couple of questions.
2 good questions.
Also.
Yep. They appear to be for Box. If you can see the questions, Box.
Yeah, I mean.
So yeah, go for it.
That is the first game.
Did the fact that this is against a formidable team affect the player and team mentality? Did the team play any prep games? Did the coaches and managers have any specific things planned for the first game? Along with that, Vineet is asking, what did you tell the team during halftime? So maybe you can answer quickly Richard's multiple question.
Yeah, actually, we did play a practice game before the opening ceremony. So we played this first game right after the opening ceremony, and Team India played a practice game against a Perth-based local club team there. So we were there one day early, and we planned those, and we planned to play in the afternoon actually, because we heard that it will be very windy in the afternoon, and so we wanted to play at that time and see how things are, and players were getting used to that condition there. And even there, technically, if you see at the opening ceremony, along with the the wind, there was a lot of pressure for our players, because we had a lot of players who were playing for national team for the first time. And yes, that was clearly there. And even when we saw there were a little bit of nervous or tension inside the field there was going inside, and the first couple of points. So yeah, it was definitely there, and I think that's what we were, coaches and managers, we were trying to address it and help the team to overcome it, in the sense to come out of it, because it was just a first game, and it was first game for many of the young players who made the team, the Indian team, and it was the showcase game. Obviously, it's going to be a lot of pressure, and I think that's reflected in a couple of points. But the practice game and going there 1 or 2 days before really helped the team and players to adapt immediately. I think managers did a very good job of taking everyone there 2 days before, because as coaches we requested them to take the team 2 days minimum before, and they did. So yeah, Surbi, Ghana, Alex, just everybody helped us to get the team 2 days before.
Fantastic. Thanks, Box. At the halftime, or even there was a timeout also, do you want to, are you willing to perhaps share some of your secrets or things that, with the way that you conducted and the coaching team and managers also, what was shared with the team, or what was the objective?
During the halftime, right?
Yeah. Let's go specifically to halftime.
Yeah. To be honest, we didn't talk much in the halftime. If you see, we usually we call hop switch at the half times, where because it was a long off time here there, and players were just not thinking about the game, trying to focus on the next, getting hydrated, or focus on the next half. We didn't talk much in the halftime actually. I remember we were talking about keep going with the momentum and the flow and see what comes. We wanted to play immediately. We don't want to wait for a long time. In fact, we talked a lot about the timeout. I guess maybe we'll cover it in the end about timeout. But yeah, I think we didn't talk the halftime. We wanted to just play in the flow.
Fantastic. Thanks.
That's very important. In that I think I found myself in a position where I end up sort of analyzing the half. I sometimes don't take the time off and say, hey, let's just play from what we all already know and continue and try and keep the momentum going. I think it's less information is always
Yeah.
better.
And even you see in the first half, there was a timeout taken by Team Australia. I don't know. I don't know the time there, but you see, even before, I think maybe Team India was in the huddle for maybe less than 30 seconds, and the 7 players were called in immediately because we wanted to just play. And the major thing as a coach, from coaching point of view, what I was thinking is, because at the time we were giving the comeback and we started scoring, and things were falling in place. And as a coach, what I was thinking at the time, along with the coaches, was we don't want to take more time thinking about things, because we know that we know what we are doing, we know what's our plan, and we know what is our plan B, plan C, and everything is means we talked about this whole scenario before, right? So there's nothing more to discuss on that time. But what we were thinking is, we don't want it to be, players start talking about other topics and getting distracted easily just because we're winning.
Yep.
So we made sure that it's not happening. We can see Team Australia will be in huddle, and India will be in the lineup already.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I think I found it 776 5108. Yeah, I mean, there's a whole on Ulti Results Coaching Academy session, a 45-minute session about how to take timeouts. What is the best effective way to use a timeout? And definitely, if your team is in the momentum, your team's in the right zone, you almost don't take the timeout. You're just talking about, okay, who's going to play the next line? Let's get back out there. We're just waiting for the other team to finish their huddle. They have a time limit anyway, so let's get back out there. And sometimes that's the way to go. We're 6 minutes in. We have 2 more questions. We have a multi-part question from Rishav. What should be the correct team planning before any big tournaments? Like, what should be the correct mentality? What should be the approach when things don't go as planned? So these are opinion questions. Good question. And either Nandan or Box, go for it.
I think what should be the correct team planning before? I think I don't know. I don't have any answer for. I don't know what's correct team planning, but it's good to have a plan before big tournaments. That's what I'll suggest. Have a plan for everything. What I usually suggest is, I won't usually go for any tournaments, especially even for this game or any national team. I usually plans for winning the tournament or this. I will also have plan for what I'm going to do as a coach for the team if things are not falling in place. What are the things that I'm going to talk when I'm going to utter. So I will also, as a coach or captain for my club team, I'll also have some strategy or points. So it's nothing, to be very honest, I'm not a person. It looks like I'm doing everything on spot, but no, I'll have everything planned before.
Yep.
It's like planning a game. So if you see Team India will be taking time out when score was 3-1 and 6-1. So you can see every 3 points after Australia scored, we took time out. It's planned. We had this plan before. What if Australia is scoring? What if Team India scored? So I think it's good to have a plan. I don't think there's a correct plan. It's good to have a plan based on a team, and always have a plan because you know your team the best when you're leading. So have a plan when things are not falling in place, because you know how players are going to react. So having some plan or some game or some activity that you can plan in your head will definitely help. Or maybe I have a team meeting before going to the tournament and let the team decide what they're going to do.
Yeah.
If things are not falling.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thanks. Nandan, anything?
No, I think Box pretty covered everything about that. I think the most important thing is to have a plan, and there isn't, like you said, there's no right or wrong plan. It's usually depends on team to team. And this game is kind of I think the second and third part of the question. In fact, the third part, what should be the approach when things don't go as planned? I think you'll see this in the second half, and I think you've seen this in the first half in this game, where I think Box said their approach was to not really go back and think about it, overthink it, and to sort of keep with it and sort of learn from their mistakes. If you have more time and you do watch the game, you'll see that India sort of continues with the things that they do.
Yeah.
Instead of saying that, hey, that did not work and I'm not going to try that. They actually
Yeah.
continue learning during the game and fixing those mistakes as opposed to changing and trying a different thing.
Yeah, great insight. Thanks, Nandan. Yeah, just that when things go wrong, our tendency is to panic and think, we need to do something different. But it's often the case that we just need to refine what we're doing. We've probably not executed it very well yet, and we should be confident in what we know best and stick to it. And back ourselves, believe in ourselves, have that confidence. Yeah, thanks. I tried to go through the chat to see if there are any other questions. If I've missed any, let us know. But we'll go back. Yeah, I think we've there's some nice comments from Richa and Surbi and others. Thanks for your input, Jason, as being there. Just happy to be there and be showcased. Absolutely. We had a bit. Do keep typing your questions in, guys, in the chat box when they come and go. We could try to answer quick ones as we're continuing. We technically have half an hour left. In the in-depth coaching analysis, which is the next part, we have vertical stack points, which we talked about. I think that's all been covered. The cuts that were kind of being made, the sweeping cuts, the U cuts. Timeouts was there, and that was something that you said, Box, you were going to come back to. Is there anything else from either of you about the timeouts?
Yeah, I mean, I remember when we were watching even this game, we three were watching this game previous this week, and Nandan was asking what I was telling to the team during the timeouts, and even after this game, I was asked this time what I was telling. See, one thing that I don't know exactly what I've told the team, but I can remember what was running in our head at the time. It's two ways to address the timeout as a coach, or this is just my opinion. It's like to analyze what is going on with your team. So if in this game, if you see Team India was not scoring many initially, it's because there was a lot of execution error. We know that plans. So we talked about the dump reset. The cuts were perfect and everything, but there was a drop catch or throwaway, and that doesn't mean that we are not sticking to the plan. So the plan was there, players were working. So what we thought was we don't need to address any technical adjustment here, but to address the mentality of the players, because players were very nervous. And the score was 7-1 or 6-1. There was a timeout, and it means if you see technically, we already committed all sort of mistakes at the time. There's no mistakes left in our from our side to commit at that time. So we already committed everything. Because players often get worried about what if I do a mistake for my team or in front of this crowd or in front of the showcase game. But we did as a team everything at the time. So I think that's what we addressed. That's the worst thing that can happen. We experienced it. All we can do from that was to play good ultimate, because there's no mistakes left from our side. We did all basic mistakes. So we need to fix it and play. We don't need to worry about what players thinking, what players watching the game in showcase from India. I think it's very important to address as a coach or captain what we are going to address. It's technical thing or the mentality of the team. So have that clear in place and approach, and then I think timeout will be very effective. I think after the timeout, we can see team's energy was very different because players forget about showcase game audience. They just started playing on the game. So I think,
Yeah, I think I get very nervous going into a timeout because I'm always thinking, what should I say? What is it that I need? I mean, it's 7-1. Like, there's so many things I want to say, right? There's part of me is going to be about maybe like blasting people. That's what they need to kind of light that fire under their butts. But I think there's it's that in this instance, like looking at the mentality. Even here, we see in the frame the body language. A few heads are down. There's people are not even part of the huddle quite. There's something going on, and everything that you say within these 120 seconds that you have. Is just about changing that outlook, that perspective, that mental approach. Yeah, absolutely. Nandan, anything about? Oh, go on. Yeah. No, we'll go Box.
No,
finish.
That's a tip for those who are watching. I don't know tip, but it's just something that I'll do. A small tip from my side that is, sometimes when you work with players for a long time, say this team I've been coaching for 5 months at the time, and they players will not just listen to the strategies that you teach, but they'll start observing you. They know what is coming next. I think at this point, maybe players might be expecting me to just talk about strategy or maybe think that I'm going to be very angry with them on all this. But when I was walking to the timeout, I was laughing. Actually, I was smiling. So I would say keep surprising your players, because if you show or give them what they expect, then there is that itself will change things within the team. So you already know that you're upset, you're angry. There's no point of us showing the anger or upset or this. That is my way of approaching things, because they know that we are upset. So means if you're showing it again and again, there's no value there. So I always surprise them with make them guess. And so
nice.
that will help us.
Yeah, and it definitely worked. 7-1 to 8-7. Yeah. Nandan, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Nothing in particular, but just that take your timeouts, use the timeouts. I think we get 3, 2 in one half, and we get 3 in all. I've gone a lot of games not using even one timeout. Get used to using timeouts, and I think that's how you learn how to call better timeouts.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah. You go through a game wishing you'd taken a timeout maybe at that point. So goes in the coach's notebook. Yeah, fantastic. In 8 minutes, we'll all sign back in again. Thanks, probably for the last time today. And so we're talking now about anything additional about wind. Craig had asked this right at the beginning, and we talked about how, between the three of us, we talked about the spin on the disc, how that would be more successful in any kind of windy condition, no matter which way the wind's going. But also being familiar with the disc, having a disc with you at all times outside of sessions, outside of practice. Do you guys want to expand on that?
Yeah, I think we talked about this a bit, and I think I keep talking to a lot of players about this. We all have whether we play cricket or not, we usually have a cricket bat and a ball lying around, and that's how we kind of know how to hold a cricket bat. Most of us know how to hold a cricket bat, we know how to throw a ball, and I think one of the most important things about that the aspect of just getting familiar with it, just having it around, you're going to find opportunities to sort of use it and try and do more. And the physics of the disc is something special. That's something we should probably cover at some point of time. I think a couple of people on YouTube have covered it. But the physics of the disc is something that we all need to understand. And in fact, if we do that, throwing becomes a whole lot easier. And by sort of consequence, because throwing becomes easier, we start reading the throws better on defense. And it kind of impacts the whole game, just familiarizing yourself with the disc and having the disc to, sort of be in a position to just step out and go find somebody to throw with.
Yeah. Anything additional about wind and disc skills, Box and Nandan? We said
much,
it all.
But I think I remember earlier we were talking about catching. So we spoke about this earlier. It's like in windy conditions, like Nandan mentioned, keep throwing, so it'll going to help. So in windy condition games, we often think about the throws that the throwers are making and all this, but I think it's very important to think about the catching aspect, because games like in this condition, you don't need to think too much about your throws or next option or anything. I think catching the disc first, because it's not going to be easy each and every single time. So be big. I usually go with clap catches. Be big and catch it, because use your body to stop and catch. Don't think too much. Catching is more important than throwing in such games, because if it's heavy wind and if you're struggling to throw a good backhand throw, and we know that we're not going to throw every single time, but we can focus on catching every single time. So for me, more than throws, catching is very important in the windy condition.
Yeah, I think that's very important. That's so true. I also think catching is slightly easier to pick up than throwing. So I think all the more reason why we should be really good at catching the disc, sort of keep things safe in the windy condition.
Yeah, I've just I've put that as a quote, and I don't know if I knew this or not, but like explicitly saying that, I think is such a great coaching tip Fantastic. Cool. The last point we had here, and we'll then play the second half highlights video, was anything else about mental game? You did talk about this already, like the timeouts and what Vineet asked that question as well. Is there anything you want to add on like how Team India came back? Anything at all?
No, coach. I think I covered.
Yeah.
Is there anything about India's spirit on the sidelines coach box through this first half that helped maybe mental aspect?
To be very honest, I forgot a lot of things that happened at that time, and I'm just recollecting thoughts when I was watching this game last 2 days. And I've noticed something surprised me was if you see when Team India scored the first point when it was 2-1, the celebration and people were just coming into the field, and you can see the same thing. And score was 7-2 when India scored after the 5 points that Australia scored. I think we can clearly see that Team India wants to win this game. It's not just they are just and we can see it, the energy, but the way that sometimes very often players or the team will give up, or maybe like, okay, we scored after a long point. There's no. I think that shows me that they want to fight, and they believe that they can do it more. And something that I've noticed right now when we're watching with the audio is we can hear a lot of sideline talks from a lot of cheers going on from Team India sideline, being loud. We can see a lot of high fives happening. So yeah, I think. These are things I can see in videos, but I don't exactly remember how was this island. I can't remember a lot of things there.
There was the J, ho, 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 J, ho, J, ho. Yeah. It got me pumped up. I was just watching the live stream at that point in time.
For me, it's very important that it's not big because, even players watching from the sideline, they'll go crazy after Pranav's catch, obviously, when they see. But it's very important for you to support your teammates when things are not going very well and be there. And I think that's what Team India showed after 7-2. I think that's the key there. I think that shows.
Yeah. The other thing that obviously kind of I think helps with the sideline cheers is that once you start cheering from the sideline, you're sort of being vocal about your thoughts, right? Because that's how you're going to be cheering, and that kind of helps with when you're especially in a bad position, overthinking. And things like that, it helps you kind of forget that moment and focus on cheering, and then you come back. That's the way you sort of creep back into the game, one step by step. And I think one of the earliest steps to that is to start cheering and help from the sideline.
Yeah, awesome. Yes, absolutely. Such an exciting game. All of us at home were jumping out of our seats at various points, I'm sure.
Either 4 men or 4 women as Thomas Della rips the pull. See if we can get NASA to track that one.
A few players from Chennai.
Okay. I didn't pause to see. I mean, we still have people joining, which is great. And there's 12 people. We were at 15. We can just wait a few seconds, see if we can get back to 15. But it is also chai time, so perhaps people dropped off for chai, or the other million things they tried to get done on their weekend, I'm sure. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. It is really awesome. A lot of familiar faces as well, familiar names coming up. Okay, we're still at 12. We'll go ahead with 12. If you want to catch up, the link is there in the chat. I'm going to go ahead. Yeah.
On the team, probably majority of the team.
For this second half, the left-hand side of your screen will be selecting the gender, either 4 men or 4 women, as Thomas Della rips the pull. See if we can get NASA to track that one.
A few players from Chennai on the team, probably majority of the team. It's found Krishna from Surat.
Oh, that is a huge defensive block. She's looking strong with the disc here. Buying those fakes. Oh, and shoots long. Oh.
Massive ups there. Jagan.
Long shot comes up. Della's in the area. Can't reel it in. Oh, and Della with a second effort block. He looks like he's got Truong unguarded deep. This will be a contest. Oh, Truong with a brilliant read. Not his first rodeo. Oh, just through the outstretched arms of Vernon. Arms too long, gets a second shot, finds Suzuki. And showing his effort both ways on the disc. Slings it the other way to an absolutely unguarded Micah Truong in a paddock. And then Australia doing what they haven't done before. Finds Dawson on the inside here, looks to the inside flick.
Oh.
And that's a great D there. Here again, he's the general here. He's looking around, signaling to his play with his fakes, but he can't connect with Murray
Sanjay
there.
picks up and throws to Ganesh
And
for a
that's
quick goal. That quick goal.
It's interesting here. The Indian team is all huddled together, getting excited about it. Truong to Mayola, back to Truong. Let's see if that training pays off for them as he shoots long. He's got Della out the end there. Oh, and that's a tremendous bid. He's come up, he's come strong.
Mark, he is standing off and stretching himself to his full capacity, which is quite sizable.
Coleman goes around to Mayolo, who finds Della for that goal.
Staying for the whole tournament is what I'm wondering. I think it might do. If they can do a 10-day training camp, I think they can do a 6-day tournament.
I reckon so. I mean, train harder than you... Australians have collected and reset the zone here.
Oh, curls that round and walks it in.
And that's a cheeky flick over the top, and then that's 10-9.
And show the disc to the wind and yet still get them, right in the breadbasket of their receivers. I'm seriously impressed with the disc skills that are on display at the moment.
Up onto the sideline. He's got his man Francis going deep.
Oh!
Looks for Dawson, but that is cut off underneath.
That is another massive D from Sheep.
Patience here. Go to Dawson. Looking for Wee out the back. And he runs that down. Weezy with the grab.
Dreaming. You do not want to miss that game.
Absolutely. This week will be a hotbed of high-quality ultimate, the kind that you only see every 2 years when these young, amazing elite athletes come around. Indian team taking their time.
Oh. Ganesh. Everyone's working so hard out here at the moment.
Oh! Michael Vernon, the hometown hero, the WA boy, flies through for a screamer. Truong finds Della, finds Suzuki. Suzuki looks for the crossfield. Vernon's in the area, and that's the score the Australians needed, going upwind. The incoming defensive player and take that there. Great safe play of the Indians as well. A big layout there would have been straight into Vernon's ribs and no good for anybody.
That was really a really beautifully controlled throw there from Suzuki.
Not unusual in that scenario there.
Now, see if Sanjay can keep his cool, choose the best option, makes a big break, high release throw to Adi, who dropped two and now has made a very solid high grab.
All the way into the end zone and secure that catch and score, because otherwise you haven't done it for you. And put enough pressure on the Aussies there to force this game to universe point. I think that's what everyone up in the commentary box wanted to see here in this first game, and certainly...
And now we're back at it. Truong with the disc. Back to Suzuki. Goes wide to Mayolo. It's just over the head. India with a chance for the game here, just out the front door.
Kenny picks up. Little Scuba finds Juggan, who does the crossfield bingo throw. He has caught the goal, and India have won the opening game. Look at them, they're so happy.
Well, if
Okay, coaches, cameras on, yeah. Yeah, it's a 5-minute video this time. And an exciting finish. We see that at Universe Point, India makes the score. There's a lot of things happening in this second half leading up to this. We are conscious of time and we want to respect your time as well. So we will stick to finishing at 6 o'clock and perhaps take some questions as well. So let's say what we want to say, coaches, about this second half. Kind of last in-depth analysis. But yeah, go ahead. Over to you guys.
I think, like we mentioned, the beginning of the first half, the both halves were really, really different. If you followed a little bit from the highlights, I'm not too sure if you did, but the score was kind of exchanging leads at this point. Whereas the first half was about Australia gaining a big lead and India mounting a comeback and taking half. But this game, the second half, I think it's very, very different in that sense. We were exchanging leads and it was about how we're executing more. And I think that's what kind of made the difference.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. This kind of trading of points, right, and a much shorter second half because of time as well. Yeah. Were you going to say something, Box? Yeah, microphone is muted.
Yeah, I think the second half, like Nandan mentioned, we can see that it was just, it was not, to be honest, at least when we were watching, it's not much exciting like first half. It's like, I think Australia took 2 breaks and India again took 2 breaks back, I think. But I think what we noticed is, like Nandan mentioned earlier, Team India didn't change any strategy. We can see that their zone offense is same, and they were playing with word stack with no dump. I didn't see them at least even playing any horizontal stack or any other strategy. They were just trying to fix those things there and play the same thing. Whereas we can see that
sorry,
we can see that Australia was trying to play. They changed the defensive strategy that they were coaching the female players. We can see female deep playing back, and if you get a chance to watch the second half, we can see the Australian female player playing deep, running for all the deep options, and 2 female players on the lane, the front, the open side, on the break side. So trying to coach the female players here and changed a bit. And we can see Team India players were struggling initially and then adapting in the middle there. And that was interesting. And I've noticed 2 different approaches in the second half, where one, Australia realized what Team India is doing and changing quite a bit of strategies there. Defensive wise, they went for the female coaches defense, and even offensive wise, we can see Australian team was throwing more blade throws, or they started throwing to players. Initially, we saw them in the first half. They were very good with quick starts. They were immediately taking and planning to hit in one passes. Whereas in the second half, we have noticed that they want to. It's kind of the way that Team India approached in the first half, the zone offense, settling and not looking for options and the blade options. But we have seen a couple of turnovers there, the execution error from Australia when they try to change their offense, whereas Team India was not changing anything with the strategy wise, but fixing all the mistakes that they have done in the first half and keep going with that. I think it's 2 ways to approach, and I think we can see it's 12-11, not much difference, but as a coach or coaching perspective, we can see there's 2 ways of approaching the game here and taking it forward.
Yeah, fantastic. There was even I think the comments made by the commentator is about they had a 10-day camp, and you guys did that, of course, over Christmas, and this is the first game. They're giving everything in the first game, and will they be able to sustain this over the championship, which is 6 days? And it's you can see, but it's not about what's going to happen after this game. We're doing everything for this game. We'll figure out what we're doing after the game if we, for the upcoming games later on. And that kind of determination really showed from both teams to make this a really tight game.
Yeah. I think there were a couple of instances of what Ox was saying, in that the plan not changing and Australia's plan changing. If we look at 1 hour 44 minutes, Jaidip,
yeah. 1 second.
This is highlight video.
Yeah.
1:44:50.
I'll get there. Sorry. Yep. Should see that. Yep.
Yeah. So if you can continue playing this, you'll see. Hold on. Sorry, if you can pause for a second. So what's happened here is there was a pick call and they've reset and gone back into the stack. We're near the end zone.
Yeah.
In fact, this time we're going. Yeah, Bhavya had scored, but they called it back.
Yeah.
And we reset. And at this point, Sanjay is now looking for options. The score is 11-10 and it's close. And the option he goes for is actually quite surprising if you think about what you might do in this situation.
Yeah.
Sanjay goes for the high release here.
And yeah, and it's no secret that it's go on. No, finish what you're going to say.
Yeah, no, they say So I think for a lot of us, given the score, given the stage that is being played at, we would not make this decision. We would hesitate. We would probably look for the dumb.
Be nervous. Yeah.
We'd be nervous, but like Box said, when the plan is to try and keep doing what we do and to stay with it, you'll have to make sure you're just doing what you might naturally do and what comes to you. And seeing Sanjay did what Sanjay does.
Yeah. We're all super happy that it was Adi got the disc here as well. That's awesome. You can see VP immediately on the field, about to pick him up, I think. Or jump on him, one of the two things. Shruti there as well, teammate. Fantastic.
There was in fact another instance as well at 1:47:20. I think this is
Kenny with the disc,
Yeah. So here I think again staying with the plan, with what Coach Box would have told Team India at that point of time. The zone would have had to be aggressive, right? The zone was very aggressive in the first half, kind of the reason why India was able to make the comeback. And now it's 11-all. And when we're going back to the zone, it was important that the cup is aggressive. And if you skip back and you see that 1:47:20, Kenny would have stuck with his sort of keeping the pressure on, and he's really bidding for the low disc and keeping the pressure and generating a turnover, a crucial turnover at universal point.
Yeah, forcing the player to throw a high disc and receivers out of position. So,
Even this throw, I think was something that was right there. It was an open throw. We might hesitate. We might be we're not in position for the throw or something like that. But there's a lane that you see. I think is this Jagan that's making the throw.
I always forget this. I always forget. I don't want to say.
Jason, correct.
Claim it, Jason.
I think this is. I mean, we always we remember the epic throw, the first one that went down in history. But this is the other great throw. I mean, it's almost exactly the same throw, similar position, and
Jagan.
Oh, was it Jagan?
Yeah. We've got protesting happening in the chat. Yeah.
Sorry about that, but yeah.
No.
But yeah, it's a very similar throw to what Jason had thrown in. The wind is again coming in. The wind hasn't changed too much since the beginning. So I think the positioning of most of the players are pretty much the same. Even in that point, the mark was actually forcing backhand when the defense was taking away the sort of wrong side. Again, here the defense is on the forehand side, whereas they have to be on the other side. I think Rama cleverly identifies that at the back and he starts making the run, and it's into space, and that's the score.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely. We are out of time. Fantastic game, and we have a question for sure that I definitely want to get to. We'll do that question, and then I'll do a conclusion. So thanks for an additional 5 minutes, guys. Let me scroll back up to it. I can read it out, but you guys should be able to see it. Oh no, it's in the other chat. Surbi, you're gonna have to paste your question again or rephrase it. or you can ask on by unmuting if you want.
No, the question was just, I think the commentators had also noted, but also, I think it came up on the sidelines as well, that they were saying that the disc on the Indian side was mostly progressing through a lot of the men that were handling and male receivers. And so the question was anything done to address that at halftime or for future games afterwards? That was the question.
Question for Box. Yeah, thanks, Obi.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So we actually. So there is two things here. One is I don't exactly remember whether we spoke about this in the halftime or timeout to the team, but the message was passed on to the players individually at the time. So because we had 4 coaches and who we had a player coach who will be talking to players, and that's what the coaches will be doing. So if we notice something and then feedbacks or the messages will be going maybe specifically to the O-line coaches will be giving, or D-line or specific players. This happened during the game. But definitely we did address after the game and try to fix it in the next games in the tournament, because the first means there is something that we can fix it immediately, and there is something that it's a process. It's going to take some time, and we cannot fix it immediately. And this is something. It's not the first time we have, as coaches or the team, as Team India, we didn't see this for the first time, because this was happening even at the training camp and play games that we are playing here in India. So as a team, we were trying to fix it, and there was a process. So how I will see is the way that we played here and how we played in Australia. Definitely there was an improvement change, but yeah, if we could have played better, because we even when we talked about this earlier, we spoke about Selvi's cut, but we noticed that Selvi, even though Selvi was open, she didn't get the pass there. We were talking about that, right? So there was, I think those are the mistakes that Team India committed in the particular tournament and the rest of the tournament, and yeah, we addressed it after the game, but and also see how we can improve in the future games or future campaigns with our club team. So those are things we definitely discussed, and things are going. And we can see that Team India is getting better at world stages at this moment. Even those comment sections, and it's even when you play, you can see that in the second half, Team India. So the Team Australia was poaching the female players, and they changed the strategy. It's very evident for even the opponents, not just the commentators. So yeah, I think if you would have fixed it, we would have definitely won gold at the time. But yeah, I think still India is fixing it and in the process. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Urbi, for the question. Thanks, Box. Any closing thoughts from you two before I and Madhu as well closes it out?
Actually, I wanted to say thank you so much once again, Coach and Night on Ultimate and Airbenders for this amazing opportunity. I personally enjoyed this because because of this pandemic, I personally didn't watch any Ultimate, or I was not doing any frisbee thing for last 9 months, and Coach called me for this video analysis, and we were actually, Nandan, myself, and Coach are watching this video two times this week, and the sessions, I think it was more than 3 hours, and I personally enjoyed this a lot, actually. So it was amazing. Thank you for the opportunity once again, and yeah, thank you, Coach. Thank you, Nandan.
Thanks, Nandan.
Yeah, thank you, Coach Bugs. Thank you, Jaidip 91 Ultimate. Thank you, Airbenders, for putting this together. Like Bugs said, it's been a while since there's been any Ultimate talk at all. There's been a subject that's not come up in a long time. Really glad that it's come up, and not just talk Ultimate. I think we're getting down to really in-depth aspects of Ultimate, which I find not a lot of people talk about, but it was amazing to plan this with you and prepare, and it was an excellent experience. I hope people found this useful.
Yeah, Good. I think you guys basically covered everything I was going to say. So no, but I think that last aspect, there's so much coaching knowledge within the entire nation of India, and it's such a big country. I think the more that we can do to share what is there, often in isolation in small pockets around the country, the better. And 9-to-1 Ultimate is doing as much as we can, along with clubs like Airbenders, to enable that to happen. So thanks again to you two. Thanks for giving up your time. I think we did about 7 or 8 hours of Zoom calls leading up to this. And so phenomenal commitment with everything that you have going on, juggling a first-time job, juggling a family business. So yeah, we'll be uploading the recording. We really hope that you now look at video footage differently because of this video analysis as well. I know that Udaya Philip is another great person to talk to or speak to, grab time with about video analysis. He's putting in a lot of work, and he has this very unique approach, which he's shared with Stray Dogs. He's another great person to speak to. There is a lot to learn. Do watch as much as you can. Try and look at it in an analytical way, as well as just looking at AUDL highlights, of course. We hope as 9-to-1 Ultimate to offer as much kind of video analysis. We've got a new website coming out. Actually, it's already out, so you can go and look at it, 9to1ultimate.com, which talks about some of the additional services that we're going to be offering. Video analysis is one of those. So drop us an email if you have any questions. We are on the lookout for, in fact, some of the questions today indicated this. We're looking for female coaches. The next person I want to recruit is not going to be another Box, another Nandan. It's going to be another female or non-male coach. So contact us if you're interested. Contact at 9to1ultimate.com, and we will fix things like the 40 minutes thing that we had today, and the quality of the stream being of a higher quality as well. And that's it from me. Madhu.
Yeah, and on behalf of Airbenders, thank you everybody for joining again. We're so happy to have, I guess, resume breakside sessions again, because I think we've also missed it. And thank you, Jaidip, for pitching this idea, because I think this is exactly what we all needed right now. And we're hoping to actually run a lot more sessions with 9-to-1 Ultimate, because I think this is what we need as a community. We've all been seeing AUDL highlights and highlights from everywhere else, and I think it's about time, as a country, we start putting together all the content that we have. Yes, so let's do this, and definitely a lot more female representation. So looking forward to that too.
Yeah, Dika, Nemo, Madhu, Tara, people who are on this call, Surbi, get your coaching lenses on. Join us on the next one. Feel free to turn your cameras on and say goodbye, but we are done for the day. Sorry, we're 10 minutes over. Recording will be online ASAP. And that's it.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Bye from us all.